Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to be taking a user suggestion and we're going to be building it and bringing it to life. So I hope you guys are ready. So today we're going to be working on apparently a ranch for our cows, and a range, an open area for our animals to sort of roam, and a nice place that we can actually get them bred up. And also, I'm going to fix this bridge because I'm just going to remove it entirely because this is absolutely a nightmare. But we are going to have a bridge that is going to be built up, I believe, over here that is going to lead to this open area. And down here, we're going to have other sort of things going on that is not related to a horse being down here and things like that. This area is going to be turned into a beautiful place, and I'm going to be able to do it with you guys. And that's the beauty of Minecraft. That's what I love about Minecraft. I love being able to take an area, a terrain such as this, and being able to turn it into something actually quite beautiful. So thanks to Mexican Rice, who commented this, says definitely a go ahead and build a ranch / open pasture cattle farm, since you're going to need the leather for the enchanting room. And that is very true. We are going to need a lot of leather. We're also going to need to eventually get set up a auto sugarcane farm. That is going to be very helpful as well, because we are also going to need tons of paper. I can't wait to do some mob farm stuff. I actually just went mining. Let's go ahead and take a look at all the cool mining stuff that we got. I ended up nabbing myself, I think, 4 more diamonds from that. But the big thing that I ended up finding, that's right, is a skeleton spawner. So at around, I think it was, I wrote it down. It's Y level 130 and then Y level 130, 103, 32, and then negative 250. That's where I put it. So if you're playing the same world, there is one down there. But yeah, I ended up getting some diamond, lots of iron ore. That's really what I was mining for, because I'm going to have to farm a lot of trees. And I'm going to need to tear down a lot of this area here, because we are going to open this up and we're going to make it a nice looking sort of pasture for these cows. And so that way they, can kind of be there and we don't have to worry about other things influencing them. We already have some over here, so it's going to be pretty easy just to get them over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start kind of terraforming this area. And to do that, I went ahead and actually started making some iron. And you can see here that this thing is way faster at cooking this down. Way faster. I mean, just look at that. Bam, iron. And then I also wanted to take a look at what does this thing do with cobble? Okay, so it can just make the base stuff. Man, I really wish there was a faster way than just smelting, to do stone. And to do that, I mean, honestly, we're going to have to make a super smelter for our stone. But I can go ahead and get started. So I'll see you guys in a bit once I get a nice little area cleared out. So I've done all of that fun stuff. I've collected a lot of wood and got us pretty much ready to go. I did go ahead and get that area, like I said, cleared out. And then I want to kind of talk a little bit about this area. So right in this general space is where I actually want to have sort of a nice little grown over barn sort of thing. And that's going to incorporate into this little pond that I am going to dig out and sort of uncover. You can see there it's already kind of uncovered as it is. But this right here today is going to be talking about getting a fence set up. We're going to go ahead and get animals actually in here, and we're going to have a nice little area that's going to allow us to be able to, gather a bunch of leather eventually. Once we get a lot of them collected. And I want this to look good. So here is kind of the fence sort of setup that I want to go with. I want to make sure that we are away from the edge, and I don't want this area to be that big because I want to utilize some of this for farmland, as you see here, and have farmland kind of spread out. So what I'm thinking is right here is a great place to get this started. And what I'm going to use is actually logs. They're going to be spaced right here, right? But this is where the fun part happens. All right, so on the outside, what I plan on doing is placing a wall here and a wall here, placing another oak log right there, and then we're going to take this fence and we're going to sort of wrap it like this on the top. And that's going to give this a really cool looking fence. And then we're going to cap these with some of these slabs from the spruce. And this right here is going to be the fence. And the pattern is going to wrap around as we continue this little setup here. So the pattern is going to look like this, right? And we're going to continue this and sort of square it off. And then we're going to go back around and we're going to kind of decorate this a little bit more. So that way we can kind of keep our animals in here, because you can't get out of here. This right here is just as safe as having anything else, but it is better than just having a standard fence that runs the length of this. I think this is going to look pretty good, and my plan is to also have some variation in this to also give it sort of a rustic feel. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more as we get going. Now, when it comes to the corner pieces, if I need to do this, this is what we'll end up doing for the corner pieces here, right? And I mean, I could wrap it like that if I want to. I could technically, actually, we might be able to try this, placing fence here and wrapping it like that in the corners. That actually will probably work just as fine. There we go. And so, yeah, we should be able to continue this all the way through. This actually might help the animals from getting stuck in the corner, since they do tend to like to get stuck in the corners. For over here, we're going to do the same pattern, but like I said, this is sort of going to end this section, because right here I want to build sort of a barn that kind of, you know, where we can have specific animals stored in a specific place if we want. So I'm going to continue this all the way through, and we're going to see what this looks like, and then hopefully get some animals in here so we can start working on that little barn. So here is what the fence sort of looks like as I am almost done with it. All I did was just lay out that same pattern that I was working on and place torches on top. So what my plan is to do now is actually make some sort of loft type place, mainly to kind of make it look like I'm storing hay. And that's really all we need. We don't need a place to store the animals, as this is just going to be a place where they are kept. I do, however, would like to have a place that stores hay, because normally when you have farm animals, you have to have some way to store their feed and keep it dry. And that's what is going to look decent here as we sort of build a little loft and store some hay in it. Now, I have been growing wheat, as you see, so we do have a little bit. And then there has been a couple of villages that we visited that had hay in it as well. I've used a lot of it to turn it into bread, but it's going to be better used as decorations as well. So all I need to do now is sort of get the animals over, and while the animals are over, I think we can continue to build. So let's go ahead and grab some wheat. And I mean, like I said, this is just super simple stuff. We are very early on, and I always see people start to build things and start to move animals around, and they just throw them in a little hut like this. Like, right? They just throw them in a little area, and they hope that that's going to be sufficient. Well, I always love to make things look nice, as you know, and so that's what we're already working on. And we should be able to also get some sheep in here. Sheep, pigs, anything like that. I usually prefer not to have a pig farm because, well, I like pigs. So that's something that you guys may not have known. I do enjoy pigs a lot, so I usually tend not to try to kill them early on, but they sometimes get in the way, and that happens. But we're going to go ahead and get some animals in here. Let's see, these should all make their way through, unless the sheep and this guy have issues. Come on, let one of you through. One of you can go through first. Oh man, you gotta love when that happens. Come on. Single file line, guys. Single file line. Come on, cow. I'm about to punch the sheep. There we go. Alright, so the main animals are in here. Looks like the sheep made its way in here. Perfect. And of course, this guy. I have no idea what he's doing. Or she, whatever it is. Go ahead and make its way over here. And yeah, this is going to give us a nice little early way to populate this area. I'll go ahead and remove this. And let's get this guy over here. Nope, nope, nope. And now they're going to fight over it, of course. Alright. Maybe he will follow. They do sort of have like a timer on them for when they recognize what you're holding. So, awesome. So all I got to do now is sort of make sure I got to clear up this because I don't want them jumping over this area. But for right now, they should have enough area. They have like a little pond here. I'm going to go ahead and get a shovel and we're going to start to clean this up here. And then I'm going to show you what I plan on building. So I'm going to go ahead and start sort of clearing this area out. I did go ahead and enchant this pickaxe and it has efficiency 1 on it. Which, I mean, starting out with not really an XP farm or anything like that is actually pretty decent. It is very noticeable. So I always recommend enchanting your early game tools, as it will help you progress a little bit faster. So, with us breaking this down, right? So I'm going to be tearing down this little bitty area here. I want just enough area on this side to build a hut, and I do want it to continue underground, and I do want this area here to sort of be left, you know, somewhat unscathed. I do still want it to be exactly what it is, which is an underwater well sort of thing. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and just continue this for a little bit. And that should be almost good, right? Because I think the barn area, loft area is going to still protrude out a little bit here. Let's go ahead and get some of the basics going. So I think we can continue from here, and I'll go up 3. I think that'll look fine. And then we need a pretty wide opening. 1, 2, 3 in here, a space, and then there. So 7 all the way through, and then we can go up with this. Perfect. And I can also go here and sort of place blocks like this. And what we're going to do is we're just going to continue with this like kind of build thing kind of going up. Let me see if I can't get up here so we can continue this up. This is going to go up a couple blocks, and then it's going to, of course, bend over and end up like that. That's going to be the entryway to our little loft. The main section is, of course, going to be wood here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to need to be broken as we just continue this build on, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's 5 in this depth, which means we need to actually place a block here, making it still even on the inside. This will be a middle block. Perfect. And then we're going to need to continue this up, right? And I'll continue it even more. And I hope we have enough oak. This is like the first time we're actually building with a little bit of oak. And then this is actually going to go right across. So, what are we going to need now? Scaffolding. Scaffolding is going to be our best friend. And that is going to be something that we are going to definitely need. All right. So now that we have this, I think we're going to go get some scaffolding here in a little bit. Right now, I can sort of get this on my own. It is partially going to go underground, so I do want to keep that. There we go. And this is going to be our structure, our framing for this build. Right. Perfect. So this is the first top layer, right? The top layer of this whole ordeal, whole build here. And this is going to need some sort of roof. I was also looking to add some sort of design on the sides and a little design over here. But for right now, this is like the base of everything. So far, this is what I've done. I know, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but I think we can make this face look a lot better and stick out a lot more. So a good way of doing this is by just adding little decorations here and there on these undersides of these logs and things like that to sort of give this thing a little bit more depth. And any sort of like addition that you can make to the underside of like these logs and things like that can end up giving this thing a lot, just a nicer look. And of course, when we add leaves and things to this, it's sort of going to add to this entryway because we are going to sort of rustic up this entryway. All right, so I am going to need a few trapdoors. And then I want to go ahead and get this upper level made. And I was debating on whether or not I'm going to use trapdoors for that. I think I might actually go with using trapdoors for this upper hayloft. I think that is going to look the best. So yeah, I'm actually really liking that look. I did notice that I don't have enough wood on me to do exactly what I need to do. So I do need to go over here and finish that up. And then we'll talk about the scaffolding and how I've been using it. So you can see I had to go get some more oak logs to be able to finish this project. Let's go ahead and finish this. I'm going to go ahead and bring a crafting table over there just so we have it. We are going to need one. But I think it looks pretty good on this side. Now, the color of the oak up there, I mean, it's kind of sticking out. I think what we can do is take this. And then we can climb up. Or I think you can just right click here. And that extends it all the way up. And then we can get in here and climb it like a ladder. That is really handy. And so what we can do is we can continue to decorate this. And like remember before, I said you can add things like this. And all these little changes add to the way this front looks. And of course, adding different colors and different textures always tend to do that. What we can do with buttons, we can take buttons and we can put buttons on the corner pieces here. If we really wanted to. That'll sort of make these things pop out a little bit more in the empty spaces. Like that. I think that looks pretty good. Now the back I'm not too worried about because not many people are going to be seeing the back. So that's something I'm not too concerned about. All right, let's go ahead and take this. Make some more trapdoors. We only need a couple more to finish this section. There we go. I'm going to leave that open because that's actually, this actually needs to be a hole here, I think. Unless, actually, I'm probably going to do it on the side. We can do a ladder on the side. And I think that will work well. All right. So now that we have that set up, we have a little loft up here. Let's go ahead and make some hay. So we can have some hay bales. I'm going to place a couple right up here. Just for right now. Don't really have a way of getting up there. I could make some ladders. There we go. And let's go ahead and get a little place for our ladders to work. To do that, I'm going to need to go right here. Set that up. And now we have a place for our ladders. That's actually going to need to move. And bam, we can get right up here. So yeah, I want to have hay bales sort of going in all different directions. We're even going to have some hay down here. Remember, I want to have this in different directions. So you can place it like logs. Like that. Awesome. The inside, I do need my shovel. Because we're going to change this up a little bit. And so far, this is looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Alright, I think what I can do here is actually, I can actually continue this out. Like so. I want to have like a little loft here. And if you mess up, you know, no big deal. You can always go back and fix things. I'm wanting to add like a little overhang for these guys. Actually, want this. Be turned like that. There we go. And then we can take this, and because we can waterlog these, that looks like it's holding it up. And I can extend some more of this dark wood out. I just have to go get some more. I totally derped. I had some on me. So, there we go. And now there's like a little overhang. And if I had some more wood, I would totally do that. But there we go. Perfect. So, I think this thing looks really good. Now the only thing we need to do, of course, is sort of decorify it. And then also break this out here. Actually, this needs to stay. It's the side that I sort of opened up. So these sides I do have open. So I need to have that there. I actually need to get the logs placed on that side. But I mean, other than this, it looks really, really cool. There we go. I'll leave it like that. And that just gives us some more open space to do some more things. But as far as our stuff goes, we shouldn't have to worry about them getting out, as they should be pretty well stuck in here. I want that just for decoration. Exactly what I was wanting to do. There we go. And last but not least, this should be pretty well done. I'm liking this so far. I think right here I'll just go ahead and add this. Perfect. We can sort of add this to the front of these, just to keep the animals from going in like they're already doing. And I just have some more cleanup work, and I think we're good to go. Oh, lighting. Almost forgot. We need to add some lighting in here. And I think these lamps just look so good. Perfect. One guy we almost forgot is Elan. We cannot forget Elan, as Elan is life. And we now have him over here as well. Alright, so it does look like we have a couple of bad visitors. We might want to get fixed. Get out of here, skeleton. And you can see the zombies. They can get in here, it looks like. But it's only through this little side. But this isn't really to keep them out, as they'll just naturally, you know, we should never have to worry about them to begin with. There we go. Alright, so here is our leaves, which means we can now start decorating with leaves and such. And this is honestly what makes some of these builds look really good, is, you know, when you start adding some of the variations to the front. And start adding a little bit in here. So I said I wasn't too worried about the sides, because a lot of this is going to get covered with leaves. And that's also just to give it sort of an overgrown fill. Same as all the rest of our builds have sort of been. We can even throw in some vines. Make sure to get those in here. Get them covering on the leaves and such. Guess you want to keep that away from the edge, because the animals will be able to get out. There we go. And just sort of continue this. Just like that. I think I'm going to get onto the roof here. A little bit of scaffolding. Just to make sure the back looks just as good in the top sections. And what we can do is actually cut like, I guess a couple of holes in here. Fill them with leaves just to make sure they look like they're fitting. Well, I have no idea why that will not break. That is probably a bug. Huh. Slabs? That is very weird. That slab would not break there, as it was treating it like a, almost as if it was a different level of breaking. Interesting. This is just stuff I like to do. I like to sort of cover this thing in leaves. And that just adds so much, I think. At least when you're working with builds like this. I mean, if you're going with a clean build, a modern build, I don't recommend doing this. I recommend using leaves strictly for decoration. Aesthetic purposes. But for this works well. Even back in here, I think we can go in here and add some vines to sort of be distracting. Make sure that's all lit up and everything. And guys, we have a beautiful place for animals to thrive. Look at that. I think this place is turning out wonderful. And of course, the more hay we get, the more we can throw in here. And also place some hay throughout this area, sort of by placing just a little bit. I think that's going to look really good. Guys, what do you think of this build? Let me know down in the comments below. This was super fun to do today. And I hope you guys enjoyed it and might have learned a little bit of design and build tricks. I don't know. I tend to throw those in for free. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate it. If you haven't already clicked that subscribe button, I highly recommend doing so. And also, we have a Discord. If you haven't already joined, I highly recommend joining and hopping on that Discord. Link down in the description below. Guys, if you haven't subscribed, that's another thing you're missing out. And also ring that notification bell. I think I'm done plugging. If you guys enjoyed, I'll see you in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching.